Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be looking at how to crochet this little granny square. It has a little floral motif in the centre and it's not too difficult to do at all. So let's get started. So to begin, you can either start with chain 4 or do a little magic loop. I like to start using a magic loop like so. And then just chain 1 and then do 7 single crochets into the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. And then in your first single crochet, pop a slip stitch in there. Okay, and now we are going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, yarn over, in the same space, do a double crochet. And we're going to do a total of 5 in this little stitch. 4 will be double crochets and the 5th is going to be your 3 chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here we have your 3 chains count as a double crochet, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4 double crochets. Now to make this little flower petal or bud, you just elongate that yarn, take your hook out, and then in the top of your 3 chains just pop your hook in there and then loop the hook back on, tighten it a little, and then pull it through the loop that's already on your hook, and you've made your first little bud. Then chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to now in the next stitch along do 5 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there you have them. It's basically a little shell that you've made now, but to turn it into, it's actually a popcorn stitch. You just remove your hook, and in the first double crochet you made, the top of this stitch is just to the right of the post. Insert your hook in there, bring the loop round, pop it back on your hook, just tighten it slightly, and then pull it through, and then chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And in the next stitch, repeat the same all the way around until you have a total of 8 popcorn stitches. So once you've done your final popcorn stitch and your chain 3, we need to finish off this round. Just pop your hook back into that little space at the back of the first popcorn stitch. Pull your yarn through and do a slip stitch. And there, that's how it looks now. Now we're going to start round 3. So first of all, in the next chain 3 space between the popcorn stitches, do a slip stitch. then chain 3, 1, 2, 3. That will count as your first double crochet. Then do another 2 double crochets into this space. Chain 1, and then we're going to work the corner now. Do 2 double crochets into this next space, and now we're going to do a treble. So that's yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through. You'll have 4 loops on your hook, yarn over and pull through 2. Do that 3 times. And what it does, it elongates the stitch so it sits nicely for the corner. And then chain 2, 1, 2, and again another treble, yarn over twice, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, 4 loops on your hook, and then work off 2 loops at a time. And that's simply yarning over and pulling through 2. Then just do 2 double crochets, and there you've completed a little corner. Now we chain 1, and again we start this again, doing 3 double crochets for the side. 1, 2, and 3. Chain 1 and just work another corner exactly as we did here, and repeat this all the way round, and I will meet you at the end of this last corner. So we've just finished the last corner, and then we have our 3 double crochets for the side. Actually, one is a 3 chain, but we need to do 1 chain after the corner and then slip stitch into the top of the third 3 chains. And there you go. So if I just have a little look with you now at this, you can see we've already got a square shape around the little central floral motif. The next round is just a case of you can either chain 1 and single crochet straight in there. I sometimes just do a single crochet straight off, and then in the next stitch a single crochet, and in each stitch around. So we have our 1 chain here. You could just go straight into the space. I sometimes just like to go in to the stitch, the top of the stitch. And when you get to the corner, do 1 single crochet and 2 chains. Rotate your work slightly, and then again a single crochet, and then into the next stitch. There's your double crochet, the top of the stitch is just there, and single crochet all the way down again in each stitch, taking care, of course, not to miss this little space or go straight in like so. Okay, so once you've completed this round, I'll meet you where we started back here. So once you've worked all the way around, this is how it's looking, and you should have a total of 15 single crochets down each side. Now to close the round, just identify where your single crochet is. You can see here you've got a double crochet there, there and there. We've already gone into this one, and then we had a little stitch in between, so we need to pop one stitch in there. That's a little tight, so I'll just go into the space. It's absolutely fine going into the space. And then you need to do a slip stitch into the top of your first single crochet of this round. Just check I've gone. There we go. And slip stitch. And now you're ready to start your final round, which is round 5. Okay, so what we're going to do now is a round of double crochets, but we're going to work into the back loops. And working into the back loops means the little front loop, and it stands forward. If I just show you on this little sample here, you get this little ridge, and it's quite a pretty decorative effect. It frames the work you've already done in the centre. Okay, so what we'll do now is chain 3 to represent our first double crochet of the round, and then in the next stitch going into the back loop like so, just do your double crochets. And the only difference with this round and the last is we're going to make 2 double crochets into the corner and 2 chains and 2 double crochets, whereas we did a single and 2 chains and a single. You can see now how that's working out, giving that little decorative ridge there. Now when you get to the end of this row, it's very easy. We know that's the last single crochet going into the back loop. It is quite easy as you're going along to just do another double crochet into the back loop there, but that's your 2 chains, so just take care. So yarn over, work 2 double crochets into the corner, 2 chains, and then rotate your work to make it easier and do another 2 double crochets. And then this is another area that you could skip. The top of this little single crochet here is just to the right there, so make sure you do a double crochet in that one too, and then just double crochet all the way down in the back loop. Hang on, I think there we did the classic thing of a little error. Right, so I'd gone under both loops, so we still need to go through the back loop even with this little corner. There we go. And then in the back loop of all the stitches down here, and you should end up with 17 double crochets. Okay, so I'll meet you when you get back to here. Just rewind the video if you need to know how to do the corner. So when you finish this final round, do a little slip stitch into the top of your 3 chains. I like to go under the top 2 loops just there of that little chain, and then slip stitch, chain 1, then snip your work, sorry, snip your yarn. That's quite funny. There we go. And then just to give it a little tug. And there you've finished now. And that will weave in nicely. So if we just zoom out, of course, it would make a really lovely Afghan throw anything. This is done in a chunky yarn and I've used an 8mm hook. But these other little squares, I've used DK, which is a 4-weight, and the white, pink and grey. I didn't use these on camera, well, particularly not the white, it didn't show up, whereas this is like a lovely cream, it's a merino wool, and it's one of my favourites for doing tutorials. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video, and I look forward to seeing you next time. In the meantime, take care.